everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Kat, and for today, the time has finally come. We are going to be looking at the entirety of my Clionadh Cosmetics collection, and I definitely don't have nearly as many people do. They are very pricey. So I've been slowly collecting them over time, and we're just gonna swatch all of it so you guys can see everything. Hopefully the shifts will show up and the camera is just like all about it. But before we jump into that real quick, what I have on my eyes today, I did want to let you guys know I have the Exquisite palette from Grungy Girls, and it is just so pretty. This is the color story, so I decided to go with a very smoky purple and blue eye. And what's really cool about it is, so this palette has clearly definitely deeper colors, but then also has a really nice selection of neutrals. And so regardless of whether you're a color person or a neutral person, absolutely gorgeous. And Grungy Girls does have this on sale right now for $10. It's part of a promotion that Christina, who is the owner of Grungy Girls, is trying and raise money for another creator, Syria, and she's struggling with breast cancer, and so we're all trying to do the best that we can to try and get some money for her so that it can help pay for treatments and chemo and everything. And so if you have not picked up the Exquisite palette yet, I highly recommend. It is absolutely gorgeous. The matte shades are clearly super pigmented and I can't recommend it enough. And so if you haven't grabbed it yet, go grab the Exquisite palette. You will love it. It is amazing. And yeah, cannot speak highly enough about it. And I did also throw on 2 shades from Clionadh on top of the matte shades that I grabbed from the Exquisite palette. And so I will let you guys know which 2 I threw on top as we are swatching them. But let's just go ahead and jump right in. I've got both arms ready to go, and so we are just gonna jump right in. So first up is going to be Spotlight, and this is a really nice pink shade. A little bit more on the sheer side, but has a shift from like pink to purple to blue. So there you can see just a gorgeous shift back and forth between the hot pink, a little bit of a lighter purple, and then a nice blue shade on there. Definitely a little more sheer, but you can easily build this up. But I think this would be an absolutely stunning topper shade. Off to a great start, and camera is with it, so it's gonna be a good day. All right, next up we have Flame Blown, and this is definitely one of the more pigmented, opaque. Oh, look at it. Oh my goodness. Yes. Okay, so this guy has a shift between a very deep purple, like a magenta-y purple, then goes to a lighter magenta into like a goldish green. So yes, the camera is so with it. Look at the purple to the magenta to the green. Oh my gosh. We are on it today. Yes. This is the level of like energy I was needing from my camera. I was so worried where I was gonna be like, man, if it's like some of these other multi-chromes where they don't want to show up, I'm gonna be super bummed. Camera, you know. Next up is going to be the shade Tracery, which is a nicer, lighter lilac purple shade. And this guy has like less of very severe, like in your face type shifts. It is more so just a really nice lilac purple, and then has a little bit of like some goldish glitter. So there you can see just a really nice, beautiful lilac purple shade. I can't get over how great the shift is. Yes! Next up is the shade Engrave, and this is going to be a little bit more of a neutral shade. Starts off with a very nice light kind of champagne-y yellow, then goes into a peach, into a pink. Also into purple, apparently, now that I'm seeing it in the camera. So there you can see definitely some of the purple, a little bit of the peachy. Very nice shade. Definitely has a bit of a light gold finish though, which I think that part is like at the very tippy top. You can almost see it. Next up we have the shade Turret, which is also one of those shades very similar with the shifts to this guy, that it starts off with like kind of a peachy tone, but definitely has like to pink to green to purple. There's a whole lot going on with that shade. So there you can definitely see the purple, and as it is trying to shift and focus on it, you can kind of see the pinkish a little bit more into a little bit of the green up at the top. And I think that's helping to bring out the peachy tones on this one as well. Sometimes you just gotta work with not letting it focus on the shades and then it'll show the shift. Then we have the shade Medieval, which is another deeper metallic multichrome shade. And this guy starts off with kind of a coppery tone into a more cranberry red and then into a purple. And so you can definitely see kind of the magenta tones on there, a little bit of the copper coming through some of the purple. Very beautiful, almost like a little bit of blue at the end there as well. Then we have the shade Cathedral, which starts off definitely with a green into kind of a goldish shade, and then you guys are seeing purple, and as it's coming into focus you can see the green on top there as well as a little bit more of the copper tone. Yes, and then there's some of that purple and a little bit of the cranberry in there as well. But really the green is coming through very nicely on the edges there. I also totally forgot to tell you guys which two shades I threw on my eyes. So on the inner portion, I threw on the third shade that we had swatched, and then in the middle I threw on this guy right here, the second swatch. So sorry about that. Then we have Crown Glass, which is another deeper multichrome. Oh my gosh, look at that guy. Okay, so as I see it, it starts off kind of with like gold into peachy tones, into purple, into bluish turquoisey green. So you guys are very clearly seeing the turquoise. Now wait for it. There's some of the purple showing up and a little bit of the pink, magenta into the green as it's trying to focus. Just, oh my goodness, such a beautiful shade. Holy moly. All right. Then we have the shade Castle. Also amazing. Okay, so this guy I am seeing purples into blues, into kind of turquoisey, and then green. And you guys are seeing green and blue right there. Definitely the blue and green tones are coming in really solid on there. I would say the purple is like at the very, very edge of this one. You ever just have those days where it's just like, man, I just needed some really nice solid multichrome swatches, and today is the day. All right, next we have the shade Shard. Ooh, okay. So this guy is definitely one of those ones where you would think it has a red base, but not entirely. So it has definitely a cranberry red in there, but also purple and then into blue. And of the ones that have like the red undertones, I think this is the best I've seen, where it blends in flawlessly, where it's not like you just have a blue shade on top of a red. This guy, it's all blended together. I mean, look at that. That is absolutely stunning. The light blue into purple, into cranberry. Just absolutely beautiful. There's a reason why Clionadh not only is pricey but has its reputation as being one of the best multichromes in the game, because they are just absolutely beautiful. All right, next up we have a pastel shade. This is Ripple, and it is a very nice lighter turquoisey greenish blue, and definitely has a bit of a pink reflect in there as well. So as it's trying to focus, you can really pick up on that pinkish purple shift along with the turquoisey blue. Very nice. Then we have one of their newest shades, which is the shade Regal, and this guy is just absolutely beautiful. Oh my god. It's got purples, blues, greens, gold, pink, the smattering of the rainbow. So you guys are definitely from back here seeing the pink and the purple. Now into the blue, into the green, into the gold. So as you pull back again, there's the purple and the pink, into the blue, greens and golds to finish it off. That was satisfying. Oh man. Next up we have the shade Enamel, which starts off, ooh, I'm seeing pinks and purples, and then you guys are catching a little bit of that lighter blue as well. So yeah, there's your purple with a little bit of pink in there, and then just ever so slight that light blue finish on there that you can see from back here. I mean, look at this arm. This is just, yes. Next up is the shade Abrasion. And this is another one of those that is similar to this guy where it has that red undertone with the blue on top. And this one is a little bit lighter of a version of this guy. So if you took this and then went like 3 levels lighter, this is the tones that you're getting. But the shift is very, very similar. So you can see the reds into the purples and then with the blue on top. The next shade I think is pronounced Grisale, I don't know. But there's this guy, and then this is the last of those ones with the red base into the purple and the blue. And this is the lightest one of those 3. And so you've got lightest, medium, deep tones. All 3 show up really, really beautiful with those shifts though. So if you are into those red base multi-chromes, they have some very, very nice ones. And now we're gonna get into some of the grungy goldish green ones. So we have all of the beautiful purples and reds. And now you can see we just finished these 2 rows. I love how they're showing up as reds on here because as I look at them, all I'm seeing is gold. Like what you see on this back half down here, that is what those are also showing up as. So this is about to be fun. First shade up is gonna be Smolder. And yes, yes to all of it. So you guys are getting purple and magenta, and then as I look at it, I am getting the most pigmented, like lizard green into gold into like a coppery orange. So as I come in, you're starting to see the golds into the green, and then the red is kicking off in the back. Oh my god! That showed up so well. Let's do it again. All right, here we go. Into the gold and the green as it's trying to focus. Into the pinks and purples. Ooh. I don't know how you guys feel, but yes to Smolder. Then we have the shade Kiln, which is going to be similar, but instead of starting off with the pinkish purple, starts off with a deep cranberry red, and then also has a much stronger copper gold finish rather than the green. So as I come in, you're seeing the red into some of the yellow already, into that coppery deep shade, and then it reflects back out into that cranberry red. Camera, you are on point today. I am severely satisfied. Next up is going to be Sandblast, and this guy is now leaning even more so towards like a kind of orangey red, and then goes even more so into the coppery kind of tones, but is definitely similar to what Kiln was. So you're starting off with a little bit more of an orangey tone, coming into a very strong copper with a little bit of green on the edge, and then reds on the edge as well. But I would say out of the 2, I prefer Kiln. I think that the shifts are a little bit stronger on that one versus this guy, but absolutely gorgeous on all of them. And part of the reason why they show up so strong on there is that this is what it looks like when you have a really solid dark base to the formula. You're gonna get this level of pigment on there. If you're using a lighter base, you're not going to have that same type of opacity on there. So like as we get into a couple of the iridescent shades, those clearly have a very, very light base to them. And so we're going to have different levels of sheerness versus opacity. And the darker the base, the better the opacity is going to be. Next up is going to be Forge, and this guy's going to start off with greenish. You're like, what? So to me, it starts off with a really beautiful, like, evergreen shade with almost a little bit of blue on the end, and then goes into those reds and copper shades. So here we go. There you can see some of the green into yellow, into red. Definitely can really see that green up at the top while it's trying to focus, and then it shifts beautifully into that red shade. But this one I would definitely say starts off with a much heavier green tone on there. And so even though the camera is picking up a lot of the red, as I look at it, I am seeing very much just primarily green. Next shade up is going to be Weld. And this one is even more so green to me. Yeah, and brings out a little bit more of the blue on the edge before going into the green and then into gold. And then I'm seeing less of the red on this one, just at the very edge. So they're really seeing the green. Barely kicks into the red at the end. But you're really getting a nice strong green base on that one. Now I'm wondering with this next shade if it's actually gonna have a whole lot of shift or not, or if it's just a very strong metallic. The shade is Majesty. And it is a beautiful yellowish orangey gold. And okay, so this one is less of like what I would think of as a multichrome for a shift. It just has a little bit of some greenish and pinkish blue sparkles on top, but the primary shade is that orange. So as I come in close, you can see a little bit how that sparkle on top is a little bit more green toned, and then just ever so slight as I turn it, the orange shows a little bit of a pinkish undertone to it from that sparkle. It is more so just primarily a solid orangey gold metallic with just a smidge of sparkle on top. Then we have the shade Burnish, which is going to be another deeper based multichrome. And this guy to me starts off goldish yellow into a coppery tone into a green. I would say this is probably the most grungy of all of the shades. Yeah, you can definitely see where it starts off with that kind of coppery and then goes into golds and greens, but a very, very grungy shade. Yeah, that is lovely. I would say, like, if you were to have this guy as your like inner corner and then this guy on your lid, that would be absolutely beautiful because it would pull out a little bit more of the goldish tones, but you're seeing a little bit also of like a grungy, coppery, almost reddish tone in there along with the green. So that's a very good shade. If you're wanting grunge, that one, what was it called? Burnish. Burnish is your shade if you were wanting that, like, of the grunges, that one. Next up we have the shade Foiling. And this one is going to be a little bit more sparkly. It's a glittery multichrome. Yeah, so I would say that the formula for this guy is more similar to what this orange one was. It's definitely like a lighter yellowish orange as the base, and then has those same similar kind of light blue and pink shimmers along with it. So you can see the base to it, and it is a little bit more sheer, but as it's trying to focus, you can see a little bit of that bluish. But that is a beautiful gold, almost foiled in nature. Then we have Patina is the next shade. And this one to me, again, is starting off with a green base, so we'll see. Okay, good. It is a green base, oh my gosh. And then goes into a teal, into a deep blue with almost a little bit of a nice royal purple on the end. So we're starting off with that lizardy green, then getting into a little bit more of a deeper green. And then as it's trying to focus, you're seeing that teal shift. There was the bluish for a little bit. We almost had it at the end. So it definitely has a really cool blue. So like what you guys see on here with this blue, that is the finish on this one at the end. So if you just take that blue, that's what you're getting at the end. Next up we have the shade Gargoyle. And these shades are starting to head more towards the blue side with the finishes. So this one is starting off a little bit more just into already the green, then goes into teal, into the deeper blue, into purple. So there you can see it starts off with a little bit more of the deeper green already. And then as I come in closer, you can see a little bit of the blue. Ever so slightly, you can see the purple at the top. So next shade is going to be Trefoil. Beautiful green on there, oh my goodness. And then as I am looking at it, I am seeing blue into like a deeper navy blue. All right, so it starts off with the green. There you're seeing the teal, into the deeper blue, into that kind of purple at the edge. So this one, you're seeing more so that finish on there. Oh my god, this arm. I love all of it. All right, next shade is gonna be, I think, Aniol. I don't know. Here we go. All right, and then this one's gonna be the most transition into that navy and purple, because as I am looking at it, I am seeing magenta and purple, and that is it. So starting off greenish, into the teal blue, there's your purple, into a little bit more of the magenta at the edge. Absolutely beautiful. And then I do have 2 iridescent shades for you guys, so we're gonna see what those look like. I think, I have glitter all over my arms. I think I'm gonna put those 2 on the inner side here. So Luminaire is the first one. Here we go. All right, and then this guy, so yeah, definitely looks a bit more sheer, but if you put that under a darker base, you would really see the shifts on there. Beautiful for an inner corner. I do actually have that on my inner corner, and this one shifts from like a gold to a peachy pink to a little bit of a green. So as we come in, you can see the pink. It's not wanting to show the gold. There you go, a little bit up at the top, you can see the gold. But that one is definitely more subdued than the other shades, obviously. And then the last one is going to be the shade Glimmer, which this one goes from pink to purple to blue. Or yellow and green, you know. So you guys are getting definitely yellows. There's your purplish into the blue. Definitely the purple picking up now. And on this one, you could see a little bit more of the peachy tones. Both of those are super duper pretty. 2 completely different textures though. This one is significantly smoother, whereas this guy is a little bit more chunky. And so I think that that's part of why this guy is showing up a little bit more, is that it's a thicker formula than what this guy was. But this is all of it. All of the multichrome goodness. Oh my gosh, this was awesome. I absolutely love swatching these. I would love to know what you guys think. Give me a thumbs up if you appreciated the swatches. Thumbs down if you do not, let me know. Either way. But I would love to know what you guys think. How many Clionadh shades do you guys have? Has anyone picked up the stained glass collection? Because I have some of the shades from that, but obviously not all of them. And so I would love to know if anyone actually picked that up. And if you did, how do you like it? But clearly, this is why Clionadh is known for how amazing their shades are, because their multichromes are the most opaque, the most shifty, just absolutely stunning. The fact that they literally, like, that I was able to swatch it and show you as they transition from like one shade to another, and then the next one does it a little further, and then a little further, and then a little further, and it like comes full circle on there. They have literally every possible shift connection on there mapped out. Like, it is amazing. You will find whatever shift you want, they have it. So I just, this is amazing. They also definitely do have several different types of formulas. You do have your standard multichrome with a deeper base. You do have a bit more of a glitter multichrome, a little bit more of your sheer glitter multichromes, and so all of the different types of formulas are represented as well. So I would highly recommend it. They do pre-orders, so it does take quite a few months to get your orders. I think it's usually between like 3 and 4 months after ordering that you will receive your order, because they do everything in pre-orders. They fulfill the orders, then they do another pre-order. And so that is something to keep in mind. I think that's fairly standard for a lot of indie brands. They don't have the production capability that a lot of your mainstream brands do. And for this quality, I would wait a freaking year for that, because it is so good. So just something to bear in mind, it is a pre-order. That's their system for ordering things. So as long as you recognize that, it is totes worth it. And if anyone ever finds a code for Clionadh, like any kind of discount code, I want to know. And if I ever find one, I will let you guys know, because because, oh man, I think they have like one sale that they do every year. Don't quote me on that, but I think they might. So that is everything. If you made it to the end of the video and you have not yet subscribed, I would love it if you would kick a subscribe my way. Come join my family on here. We talk a ton about indie brands, tons of colorful makeup, all the multi-chromes, swatches, all of it, you name it. If you guys have any suggestions at any point of something that you would like to see, have me review, give you swatches of, whatever it is, just let me know down in the comments and I can absolutely take care of that for you guys. But other than that, you guys just go have a good one.